Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 8th edition of SIG Manufacturing event. This is the digital marketing strategies for engineering and manufacturing units. We welcome you all to the TIE Ahmedabad chapter. TIE, as you all know, is an organization which fosters entrepreneurship and is a good platform for everyone to connect and help young entrepreneurs develop their businesses and become wealth creators. So TIE Ahmedabad is following the mission of TIE Global, and we have been actively holding events to nurture the entire ecosystem for the entrepreneurship. And I see a few members here from TIE Ahmedabad and many who are non-members of TIE. A very warm welcome to you all. I would also like you guys to request you all to give it a thought, because being a member of TIE will give you access globally to various other SIGs and help you network to take your business further. With this, I hand over it to Shruti to take it forward, this event, the roundtable. Shruti.
Thank you so much, Sanjay Bhai. I am extremely honored to introduce today's speaker. As Sanjay Bhai has already introduced to the participants, we are going to have such series of programs under the TIE SIG Manufacturing, basically to share experiences in manufacturing and obstacles which the manufacturing companies are already facing, and engineering, of course. So I am pleased to welcome one of my friends also. He's also does my work, my company's work. So Jaydip Parikh, you can say the SEO Baba of the city. He's one of the pioneers who actually launched SEO to the Ahmedabad city, making it SEO capital, extremely enriched with whatever he does, more than 18 years of experience and excellent in his own field. So Jaydip bhai, over to you. But just a second before you go, we will take questions after Jaydip bhai finishes his talk. So I request, if any of the participants have any questions, you can write on the chat box, or once we open the participant session, then you can go ahead one by one. Piali would be able to moderate the questions. So Jaydip bhai, over to you, all ears to listen to your words of wisdom.
Thank you, Shruti.
Sorry to interrupt you guys. Shruti, what we can do is, it will be very difficult to track the questions from the chat box. So whoever, one by one, they can, because it's a roundtable. It will be very difficult to, so the questions can come, we can start from the top line. Whoever has because let's make it an open discussion, but not much of a crosstalk.
Absolutely.
Right? One after the other. Yeah.
No
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Jaydip.
Yeah, thank you. So like Sanjay Bhai already said, so you can raise your hand. So in Zoom, there is option for raise your hands, and moderator can prompt me, or I'll keep on, because when I'm doing presentation, so I have a couple of PPTs to show, and PLE give me 15 minutes, so I make very crisp PPTs, and I also want to discuss more question to you, because as Sanjay Bhai suggested, it is more advisable in roundtable. It should be more discussion, question answer, rather than showing PPTs. So the PPTs are just for I can say I can set it some flow path kind of stuff, how you should think, how you should manage it. So let's move to PPT, and once I finish, I'll try to finish in 10-15 minutes. If meanwhile, if you have any question, you feel free to ask me during my presentation. If not, once I finish it, we can discuss.
Jaydip, you will be able to share the screen.
Oh, thank you.
I've made you the co-host here.
It is visible, right?
Yes, Jaydip.
Okay, great. So Shruti already introduced me. By the way, Shruti, मेरी माँ भी इतना अच्छा introduction नहीं देता मेरा. So thanks for that. So I love to give presentations. I am active speakers on various forums, various platforms. And as Shruti mentioned, I'm very much inclined for digital marketing things. So what I'm doing exactly, I'm running an agency called Tej SolPro. I'm mentor on board on various incubation centers across Gujarat. Many of you might heard a social media tool called Hootsuite. So I'm represented as a brand ambassador for Asia Pacific. I'm writing various information about a digital marketing startup and whatnot on sites like entrepreneur.com, Your Story, SAP, SEMrush, Yahoo, and a couple of our industry sites like Search Engine Watch and a few other sites, Practical E-commerce and other sites. And I'm active speakers and consultant. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm Time Person of the Year for 2006. If you have still doubt, you can Google it. So after my short introduction, let's come to the point. How B2B is different than B2C, and why when we talk about B2B, when we talk about manufacturing, how it is different for market the things. Because in B2B, people don't buy for pleasure. They really want to solve their own problems. And while solving their own problems, they feel pleasure. So that is the definition how B2B and B2C is different, and why you should have a special plan or why should a special team in place to manage your B2B stuff. So what is the process, or what is the process? So that's I want to. So this is only 5 points I want to discuss today, and based on this 5 point, we can keep discussing because this is a little generic plan. So that applies to major B2B companies, irrespective of manufacturing or not, if you're dealing B2B. So these are the a broader level scenario you should focus on. And if you have micro level question for your own company, or if you're focusing some bottlenecks, so we can discuss in Q&A. So the point goes like this: you should think about awareness. After awareness, of course, you will part of consideration, a comparison, and conversion. So once your brand is visible enough, this three thing will come: consideration, comparison, and conversion. So this is the actual cycle how B2B buying process, or how B2B business process works. And after that, retention. So in certain cases, especially if you're manufacturing machineries or something, so retention part might not be for next machinery, it might be for parts or something. But if you are making OEM parts for like clutch or some other parts, so retention process will keep going on. So that the last point differs industry to industry, or product to product, or vertical to vertical, but rest of the cycles are same. So this is a process you should follow, and this is the typical funnel. Ideally, in this scenario, you should think and follow this. So what is awareness? So when we talk digital things, are your product visible enough on digital platforms? Digital. So when anybody is Googling about your product or services, so are you visible there? Or for example, if you're machinery manufacturing, do you have any visual presentation like YouTube videos or anything on internet you can send across to clients? Or are you active on LinkedIn or not? So this is all awareness part. And so in one liner, if I say, are you visible enough on internet? If you're not, you might losing a business. And when I talk awareness, but awareness to whom? Who are our target audience? That you need to understand. So and how this is how you should set a tone of your business. And in marketing, we keep on saying go to there where your audience are. So these are probably your target audience. So that again differ to industry, product to product, or services to services. But typically you are not catering to one person, you are catering to set of target audience. So many times you need to deal with procurement. In every cases, you need to, not every, but most of the cases, you need to deal with top management, CFO or CEO. But other than that, you need to be visible enough to procurement department, finance or engineering, and of course decision maker. In some cases, legal department as well. If a product is, for example, you are doing some medical devices, so and you are exporting to countries like USA, so you need to follow their own guidelines, and you need to deal with that legal department as well. So my point is, for example, let's take medical device example. So if you want to target to USA, your you are some of your web presence in some legal team of their company sees, and they feel, okay, this product might be fit for our requirement. So that make more sense. And when we talk about visibility, it is not only for CFO or CEO of the company. You need to be visible for across the vertical. So whatever verticals, you need to deal with it. So this is very crucial. While working with many B2B companies, manufacturing companies, we realize that they are missing this part very much. So the core focus want to focus, let's design a content or design a strategy to reach out to CEOs and CFOs of the company. But many times, these are the potential decision makers they are losing on. Plus, we should consider other factors like location, transportation, international laws, local competition. So if you're exporting to countries like Africa or for a matter Southeast Asian countries. So for example, one of our clients, they want to expand in Vietnam, but due to China, they are not able to do it because China is able to give very cheap rate compared to India. So they want to do business there, but due to price point, they are not able to do it. So these are all factors you should consider. And while designing your content, while designing your website, while designing tone of your website. So how that differs? So for example, if you are focusing countries like Australia or UK, so they like very mannered thing and very strategic thing, where you want to like American clients, so they're open for discussion, and you might use slang in your homepage as well. So you can write, we are fucking awesome company if you're targeting American company, but if you're targeting British or Southeast Asia or even Gulf countries, so they might feel offended using that kind of words on your website. So your website tone, your color design, your text, your content, very much things are affecting your online visibility. And plus this all, so when we talk B2B, you are dealing with multiple departments, so you should keep thinking how kind of content I'm using, which kind of words I should use to impress to legal department or engineering department or finance department, various things. So whenever you're designing anything, so you should keep this in mind as a target audience, who are your target audience, and design accordingly, and try to check your current web presence. Is it visible enough, or is it potential enough to hit this target audience or not? So that will help you out. This is consideration. So why what are your digital footprint and why people might consider you as one of the competitor? So let me give one very generic example. If you want to purchase a mobile, so you will first decide in awareness thing, you will first decide, I want to purchase a mobile phone which is a very good camera, and based on good camera, that is one of the quality I'm looking for compared to other qualities. So in awareness, I'm very much sure what I'm looking for, and this is how in consideration I will consider only camera phones which are a good camera. Then I will think about budget. Okay, which fits. I might afford iPhone, but I don't want to go with iPhone due to some or other reason, or I might not able to afford iPhone. So iPhone generally considered as a good camera. So what are the other options available? So people will check that, and eventually they will purchase the product. So whenever we design strategy, we are just focusing user is purchasing mobile, but we are missing out the previous part of that consideration. So if you are there already, your digital footprints are there, that will help. So if you don't have enough digital footprint, for example, you're targeting multi-crore companies, so ideally their executives are on LinkedIn. So are you able to optimize your LinkedIn page, company page, plus your key employees page. So this is how you should focus our digital footprint, or if you're having website. So are we considering, are we writing good blogs which attracts, for example, we have a client, they are manufacturing OEM parts for technology, AC technology, and uh, we started writing blog about comparing different AC technologies, HVAC things, and this is how we are able to reach out to architects who are possible procure that OEM parts, larger architect, not the smaller one, larger firms, and so on and so forth. So this is how we help our client to improve the digital footprints. So are you writing enough blogs? Are you writing on LinkedIn? Are you, I'm not sure how many of you are on active on Twitter, but Twitter is two-edged sword. So I'll not suggest you should go. If you are able to manage your Twitter presence, then of course you should go. If not, Twitter is two-edged sword. But are you enough visible on digital things? So that is the key question you should think and ask yourself. After do this thing, people start comparing, because they start considering you. Once they start considering you, they'll compare with your peers, they'll compare with your local players, they'll compare with other things. So does your marketing team, does your sales team have ready to use documents? What are the difference with competitor A, competitor B kind of stuff? Is it available on web? Your website is telling the key feature or core feature of your thing, which is not part of your competitors. So these are the things you should keep in mind, and this is how the all comparison metrics works. So in nutshell, you need to define how different you are from your competitors, or how different, how unique you are. So we generally, in marketing language, we call a unique selling point, USPs. So what are your USP for a product you are manufacturing? How different you are? So you might procuring very good material, or your QC is very good. You're delivering in time. So there are plenty of things people are considering based on industry. So are you able to convey that things to your competitors? Not competitors, potential buyers. And last but not least, conversion. Not last, the retention is there after that. But this is how your conversion starts. And how effectively you are doing that conversion. So once you part of your consideration phase, once you have good digital footprint, people will start sending you RFPs or inquiries, and then how you are able to convert it. So in some industries, you hardly need 5, 6, 10 conversion a year. In some industry, you need at least 10 conversion a month. In some industry, you need 10 conversion in a week as well. So how based conversion, and based on your conversion ratio, how effectively you are improving your digital footprints. So for that, you need to set up a process. As I said, your sales and marketing team should have ready-made documents for it, and you are able to process this fast. Last but not least, retention. So I'm not talking much about it because it differs industry to industry, but this is the key point to keep in consideration. And as I promised, I try to finish in time, so we can start shooting your questions. And by the way, this is my contact details. We can connect on LinkedIn or Twitter. You can Google Jaydip Parikh, or you can shoot me mail on this email address.
Thank you so much, Jaydip bhai. I am not sure, Pyare, do all the audiences hold either a manufacturing or some sort of an engineering company, so that I can float around my questions accordingly?
Depends, I would say 70%.
All right. So Jaydip bhai has covered most of the points. I would really request him if he can give more emphasis on how it can directly impact your sales. Like I came to you and I was not aware about, how investments in digital marketing, as though they might not be visible in the initial months, but they are really going to be helpful when you especially target larger audiences and foreign countries. So would you please explain the audiences how investment in digital marketing is directly related to your sales, and it is not something which you could put in an option when you make a budget for your company?
So that is a good question, and we are getting this question almost every day. So
I know.
you use very right word. It's an investment. It's an investment. It is not expense. So
Correct.
many times when we talk about marketing or sales, many CEO, including me, if I consider myself in previous years, so I also used to think as an expense, but it is not expense. It is an investment. And when we talk about investment, so it is so few things you can tangibly monitor, few things you can't tangibly monitor. So based on your requirement and based on your goal, so for example, if you're 50 crore company right now and you want to go to 500 crore, or if you want to go to 10 crores, you just want to double your sale. So based on that, how faster, so what are your current scenario? I mean, so if you're 50 crore company and digitally contributing 10% of that or 20% or 50% of your sales, remaining you are doing with offline or referral or any other things. So if you want to scale up, you need to understand how effectively you can use digital, what are the bottlenecks there, what are the scope of improvements there, and then you can implement it. So there is no blanket answer for it, and every investment is a worthy investment. So it will give ROI, but that differs what exactly stage, what stage you are. So if you're 100% fresher company, you're not using digital for your things, so of course you can see ROI in at least 6 months or something. But if you're already using digital things and you want to optimize your presence, you want to optimize your reach, then it might take some time.
I hope, Karthik, that answers your question also. Somebody on the audience has had already asked how should the business measure ROI for his or her investment on SEO. So
let me add a few things over here, Shruti.
Sure, go ahead.
For Karthik, so Karthik, for you should start measuring the things. I mean, when we talk about ROI, so are you getting more impression? Are you getting more traffic? Are your keywords ranking on higher position? So these are all metrics we call KPIs, key performance indexes. So define your KPIs, and based on that, try to improve that. So for example, right now you're getting 100 visitors and 2 leads. So whether 100 visitors, you're optimized enough to 3 leads or 4 leads or 5 leads. So this is how. So technically your traffic is not improving. Your traffic is still 100, but they are very optimized 100 people visiting your site. They are giving you more inquiries. So you optimize for leads. So this is how you should start understanding what to optimize, why to optimize, when to optimize.
Karthik, you could unmute yourself and ask any other questions also directly to Jaydip bhai, if you want to. Arpita, you have questions? Go ahead.
Okay, so Jaydip, regarding if I talk about our manufacturing unit, we come from a food department, so it's a sort of FMCG product. Right. Now here we have a vast audience, so the target customers are also from various other sectors and stuff. We have B2B, we have B2C, both of them. In that scenario, no matter, people like to taste before they buy. So for us, it became like we were investing in more in offline marketing rather than online was giving us a quicker ROI. So what would you suggest should be, I mean, according to your experience, what would you suggest me?
So ROI, I mean, state of mind, very honest, because in offline, we are tangibly able to monitor. In online world, there are so many metrics available. So this is also, for example, if you're giving print ads, so you never know if you're giving print ads in 5 different edition, you never know which edition works and which print ad works, right? But we feel print ad gives us ROI. So in terms of digital, you can track every single click, every single transaction. So this is how helps to answer your question. So for example, your product, I'm assuming your product is for diabetic people, right? Just an
For
example.
any, it's a wellness
Yeah.
product, preventive
It's
care.
wellness. So you need to define. So again, there aren't a product for all group of people. So you need to define. So my X product is for diabetic, Y product is for weight loss or weight gain kind of stuff, and so on and so forth. So and start developing content around it. So what kind of issues diabetic people are facing, and what could be, for example, anybody searching how to cure diabetes using Ayurveda or something. So you need to when we talk about content marketing and few things, online presence, so that will give you brand visibility, and you need to understand for your product how much visible you are on internet. So I can give one example, Dairy Milk Date. So Dairy Milk started doing advertising on Rakhi, you should gift chocolate, not a mithai. And eventually, right now, we are all giving chocolates to various occasions. So they start with Rakhi, now Diwali, and we are doing. So it's long-term campaign, but now that campaign gives them ROI. So this is how, and probably they're sale multifold. Now, currently, if you being a marketer, I observe now Dairy Milk started doing thank you chocolates. So thank you for your security person, thank you for a milk wala, and so on and so forth. So this is how they are penetrating in different niche, that they're changing your habits in long term. So when we talk digital, you need to understand your different audience. So for them, they again, Dairy Milk example, they started with Rakhi, then Diwali, then other festival. Now they're coming to thank you things. So or Uber or anything. So they help you to do lifestyle changes. So you need to understand your target audience better, what are your optimal target audience, and how helpful you can be. So for example, you can start online forum for a particular disease and invite some doctors on board, discuss it, but that will give brand recall value to your whatever participants are. So this is how you can start using initially, and then you can define who are exit target audience, which kind of things they are consuming on internet, and just try to be there.
Okay. And one more question I have, it's, I mean, you've given me really good insight, and it is regarding all these keywords. You know, we tried having it, and then this keyword game came where we failed to do it, because, you know, that's where the marketing people also had an issue, like you mentioned, right? Diabetes. So in my initial days only, I had faced few legal issue that I can't claim it. So I had to again change that keyword. So that was something that always has it pushes me back not to go more towards digital, you know.
So I guess so when we talk keywords, so you need to understand the legality aspects as well. When we are booking any domains, when we are choosing any keywords, so there is technology VRF and VR. I just forgot the other, VSC or something. VRF is patented by Daikin. So that is AC technology. VRF is patented by Daikin, and the similar word VRC, VRF, I forgot the other word. So that is non-patented, but technically both similar, same technology. There is no 19-20 even. So they're exactly the same technology, but they patented, so you can use that word. And digital word or any other, Daikin may sue you for that. So you need to smartly understand which kind of word we should pick up, and you need to play around that word. Or we call a long tail keyword. So which is when we talk about diabetes, so like how to use Ayurveda in diabetes, or benefit of X thing in diabetes, Y thing in diabetes. So the ideally when user searches Nike red shoe size 10, he or she is very much sure which size they are looking for, which color they are looking for, which brand they are looking for. They might have very less search keyword volume technically, but they have very higher probability of conversion, because user is very much sure what exactly they are looking for. And if you're able to rank for that thing, your sale is done.
Okay.
So you need to understand. So we call it as a technical search intent. So you need to understand search intent of your user, what exactly he or she might search, and then be there. So that will give you more conversion. Ideally, they might not give you a lot of traffic, but we want sale, not traffic.
I think, Arpita, best would be to use some medical terminology, like low glycemic index instead of a diabetic curing drug or a food. or something.
Very true, Sanjay. Absolutely.
that would be just confuse. True. The keywords do play a great role in everything, and does land you in trouble. But it's a play of words.
Yeah.
Lot many, in this last 1.5, 2 years with the onset of this pandemic, look at how many homegrown food companies have come up, right?
Immunity, we had to change our name.
Everything
Brand we
is
changed.
doing, everything is immunity booster right now.
Yeah.
Right. So if you just type in curcumin, you will end up with like 15 different things that say different things about curcumin, right? But basically haldi, the nanoparticle of haldi. But still,
Exactly.
even if you write nanoparticle of haldi,
Then it is fine.
people will be attracted that this is some new technology because they are only tuned to hearing curcumin. So that's what he says, that play with the words. It's a word play. That's what it works. It's kind of strange, but that's how the human mind is. That give them something new, and they get fascinated.
Yeah, keywords do play a very
Jaydip, I have a question for you. It's a very generic question, something that you can share with most of the people here. See, with this, no one anticipated this pandemic, and now we thought we were, 3 months, 6 months. Now it's more than a year, almost 1 year, 3 months. So the door-to-door marketing is gone.
Yes.
The salesmen are losing their jobs per se, right? Let's say I'm not talking about myself, but someone who is actually making some consumer goods, or let's say compressor manufacturer. They used to make those cold calls, or in our industry, when we use the CNC machines, the insert manufacturers used to come every month to meet us, say, okay, you can try this, try that. Now that is gone because of, that's fear on both the sides, us and them both. Now, where does this strategy of yours actually come in? Because, if you look at the large insert manufacturers like Sandvik, Vidya, Tegutech, or Iskar, they all have their web pages, they have their LinkedIn, they have their YouTube videos, everything. But there are smaller players who are really, really getting hurt because of the situation. Where would you guide them? I'm sure there is someone in the audience who would be in a similar basket. Something like how soon and how quick and how fast should they adopt to this with this digital marketing, and what would be the easiest path to get your target audience?
So ideally, they should adopt day before yesterday.
They should have come to you a week in advance if they were to start day before yesterday.
So ideally, so when we talk digital or when we talk internet penetration, still many are think this is new technology. But when you see internet user, forget the developed countries. You see the internet user in India, we are third largest country. So the internet is already there. So you just need to learn how to enable it for yourself. To answer your question, banks have KYC, know your customer, like every company is having. So if they are having their contact details like email address, so they can shoot that email regularly. They can invite Zoom call like this for discussion, possibly one-to-one if they're bigger things. If they're launching something or if they're upgrading their machines or anything, so they can have common virtual meeting kind of stuff where they can talk about the new feature of the product or some technology changes they did. Plus, there are various things available. They can help them to be in touch with them. Email is one of the things. Countries like India, they are using WhatsApp as well. So that could also work. I will not vouch much WhatsApp because WhatsApp, again, people are trying to spam WhatsApp like anything. So I'm not talking about WhatsApp spamming, but I'm saying actually conversion over WhatsApp. So plus there is one technology we use in tech companies, we call chatbots. So if any visitor come to your site, he or she can ask and a robot will answer. So in order to be 24 hours on your chatbot, the chatbot is designed, especially you might see in some customers, like if you're doing with Swiggy or Zomato, they implemented chatbot for customer services, or Amazon or Flipkart. So basic question answer there. And if they have a good inquiry page or something, so they can take it on once they inquire there. So they can take it on offline and discuss over the call or email. So this is how they should start using if they're not using yet. I'd advise them to use starting, I mean, just finish this thing, because they're already late if they're not using digital things for a lead generation or other part of the branding activities. I
think Pele, there is one question from
Yes,
Mr. Hariharan.
there is one. Yeah. So, Jaydip, Hariharan has a question for you. He says that we are an engineering service provider, and most of the business that they get is by referral or by networking. But he wants to understand, how does India Mart kind of marketplace can help them to get the service jobs outsourced from outside the borders? So basically, he's looking from the more like the international accounts. Where do UK and USA companies searching for Indian service providers?
Yeah, the best person to answer this question is sitting right here, Shruti. Shruti and Jaydip can both answer this question together, one after the other.
Shruti, go ahead.
Well, whatever I know, I've already shared with him. He already knows my India Mart story, and I'll give the stage to Jaydip to answer that.
No, Shruti, start with your story, then I will add it.
So, Hariharan, we also are an engineering product development company, and we experimented India Mart almost a year back. We took their foreign plan also, where they give some sort of leads, and it is not something which I would recommend, because it has not brought good results. Of course, from visibility point of view, it's there, and their SEO is strong, as I discussed with Jaydip also, and your company name could be flashed whenever somebody searches. But on terms of being listed on India Mart, it has not given us the kind of results which we were expecting. They have also changed their plan, so the domestic investment is different, and when you want to have foreign leads, it's different. I would not recommend, but yes, from the digital marketing point of view, maybe Jaydip would be able to answer it better way.
So Hariharan, when we talk about any other platform, be it India Mart, be it Facebook or any other platform, so what happens? You don't have any control on that. So I heard if you inquire on India Mart, for example, on Shruti's company or any other companies, so that lead distributed to all your similar players, not only you. So first, your lead is already diluted because it's shared with a few other players as well. So, and in many cases, price always is not quality when this scenario happens. So one person have inquiry and there are 10 potential suppliers. So again, demand supply ratio, price always wins. So to answer your question, I'll you try to understand which kind of keywords, which kind of information your target potential audience are searching in UK or USA. And that might be different keyword as well, because we call lift, they call elevators, and so on and so forth. There are plenty of keywords. We talk kilometers, they talk miles, or we talk UK, USA. So that different parameter, different keyword, different information, measurement unit or any other unit. So they're very different. So you need to understand which kind of, so again, custom manufacturing and bespoke manufacturing. So UK generally use bespoke word versus custom. So technically, both are similar words, both are synonyms, but they are different for them. So if you are able to rank custom solution in UK, you might not be able to get a lead. But if you are able to rank similar keyword in USA, you might be able to get plenty of leads. So you need to understand the scenario for your kind of industry, which kind of keywords, which kind of information they are searching for. And as I mentioned, what are the mobile example I given. So I want to purchase base camera phone. Then I will try to figure out what are the 10, 15, 20 base camera phones, and eventually it will come to my budget or my priorities. So there are 3 or 4 stages in between that. I want to purchase a phone and I purchase a phone. So you need to understand which are the 3, 4 segments your user is passing through, and try to. So the example I shared for one of our clients, so they are making some OEM parts for AC things. So we try to address the large scale people who are doing dealing with HVAC things and the machine things, etc. So they are one of the recommended. We try to leverage the manufacturing themselves. So like Daikin or Hitachi, or they are also looking for this kind of parts. So you need to understand which are your target audience, and segmentize them, and try to rank for or try to reach out. If you're using SEO, if you're using content marketing, try to reach out. So for example, if you're searching digital transformation from SMBs, so I publish one of the posts on business.com that ranks. So this is again passive way of content marketing. I'm not able to rank my site for that keyword, so I publish. So even I'm writing on SAP. SAP is one of the largest ERP manufacturing, SAP. So I'm writing blog on their site as well. So this is how you need to build a brand around. You need to develop content around and reach out to right audiences. And there is no blanket or short 1, 2, 3, 4 step answer. So because digital is very dynamic field, and it differs industry to industry.
I guess, Jaydip bhai, we can help him, provide information which we were discussing. Are there any marketplaces where we can list ourselves, which are better for US market and UK market? You remember some websites
Yes,
were
yes.
there, so that maybe you can mention it to him, and that can be of some help.
Yeah, Haran, but most of the cases they are looking local registration details. So like India Mart, they ask you a factory or office details. So when we talk about UK USA market, they in 80% cases or 90% cases they are asking a local address. But I'll still search, and I'll send, if I'm able to find information, I'll send across to Priyali, so you can check by this weekend if I'm able to find it.
For manufacturing, we have a very good system of because all exporters need to register with EEPC, and EEPC prepares its own directory based on the export performance and category, and they circulate it to the each and every consulate they have world over. So those businesses do contact the consulates and get the EEPC directory for Indian manufacturers. So that's for manufacturing. I'm sure there must be for something similar to that for the service providers.
So maybe we can talk about, broader aspects, like a lot of people get confused between digital marketing and social media marketing, and they consider digital marketing, as social media marketing, and then they are everywhere. If you remember, Jaydip, we were discussing about being present on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and all of that stuff. So what kind of social media platforms are optimum for manufacturing and engineering companies? I would also like you to give little light on that for the audiences. Piali, is he there?
I think he is disconnected.
Yeah, I think so.
I was just trying to see.
He was frozen and then he's gone. So probably he'll reconnect.
Yeah. I'm just keeping an eye as soon as he logs in.
But meanwhile, if any other participants have questions, please unmute yourself.
We do have a few of our participants who are actually into digital marketing. So we'll be happy to hear from any of you who can contribute to this question.
Yes. This is a roundtable. So anyone who wants to share or speak about it.
Yeah, if you want to share your story also, that's also fine. If you want to give your words of wisdom also, that's also fine.
I saw Keyur Bilawat as well joining. I'm sure he also does a lot of work around that. Then I think I saw Nayan. Nayan is also, I think, into digital Yeah. Hi, Nayan.
I guess Nayan is still on mute.
He is on mute, yes.
Okay.
Shaileshji, would you like to sort of respond to the question?
Probably Shailesh, she can
Yeah,
share
sure.
a light how important
Please,
is
yes.
digital presence when you talk
And
about
the
PR.
difference you said, right, between
Social media marketing
social
and
media and overall digital marketing. Yeah.
Certainly, it is very, very important nowadays, because the first thing anybody who wants to trust on your services or your product, they definitely look for your own presence first, and how credible and how visible you are actually. I can tell you last month we added a client who were operating for last 2 decades. But when they went for something for their own, for some proposal, they were told that you are hardly present there and you are claiming that you are one of the best and the 2-decade-old firm. So they were posed with this kind of challenge where whether they actually existed actually. So then they came to us and asking for how to increase our create our web presence, how to increase our internet presence, and how to make profiles. So it has become, for services industries, which is equally important nowadays. In fact, it is more important, because the distinction from services and the clientele you have, if you can showcase them, it adds to their the believability in the firm's position actually. And therefore, one will definitely look forward for how they market themselves, or how they make their own presence felt. Many people they want to only deal with the known names only, and for them it becomes all the way more important to have a good visibility on the internet and web. And plus, when you have to have your own speaking about your own self, then it is any sine qua non actually. When you don't have talking about yourself, then how would others will speak about you? So digital presence is definitely you have to have in this today's era. There's no doubt on that front actually. And as Jaydip rightly said, you can pick and choose the mediums. Okay, like Twitter is not for everybody, so you may or may not be there on Twitter, but some basic elements and some basic platforms you have to choose at least one. So let's say professionals have to have a LinkedIn presence. The companies and firms have to have LinkedIn presence, because that's where the first inquiry goes, or first search goes, and also it comes first into the search actually. And then you can choose if you want to be on Insta, depending on your product or industry. If the visuals are more important, definitely Instagram is the thing to go. Otherwise, a basic presence, a page on Facebook, these all are important elements nowadays. And you can create with the help of agency, and subsequently, if you don't want to be very aggressive, you can maintain a page by yourself also, by just putting updates about your own product or service, or anything which you like, and you can share on your pages actually.
so Jaideep, you came down to see me and we discussed, right? How digital marketing will help my business.
Right.
But, like I said, that every business, whether it's manufacturing or any other, there is a no cookie cutter formula.
Agree. Correct.
Everything is quite fuzzy. In fact, what Arpita does and what I do or what Shruti does is completely different, and every marketing strategy has to be different, right? Right. My company being on any of the mediums is of no value, right? Because the way the business is. I think Vineet will also agree with me that how much of digital presence his company can have that can actually enhance his business uh, is something which has to be a very different marketing strategy. So how would you enable someone who approaches you to drop a plan? Because it's not a straight cut strategy. It's a very dynamic strategy.
So we generally start with the goals, what goals they want to achieve and which timeline, within a 6-month, year or something. And goals related to branding activity, goals related to sales activity, goals related to lead generation activity, which kind of activity they want to do for which market. We try to understand that first. Based on that, we help them to build the things. And many times, like Sailesh, you mentioned, digital is very crucial things nowadays, and many companies want to work with brands. So if you are less popular in market, you are still not able to cater new clients, but still I'll suggest you to start focusing building your brand. So if you're for example, if you're selling your product 100 rupees right now, so eventually you are able to sell at 105, 110 or 120 rupees eventually, because of a brand name. So you are not making any innovation or something, but still you are able to do it. In certain cases like Parle-G, so they keep reducing their size, but still they're selling at 5 rupees. But they're still able to make profit. But in certain in cases, a brand will help you to recognize. So there is a brand called Hippo. So what they started is so that is again B2C example, but what they started is, if you're not able to see your packet in any area, so just tweet us. So that campaign went viral and people are starting tweeting, and then the salesperson goes to that store owners or larger store owners and say, people are from area asking for our brand. This is the tweet, is the example. Or this 5 tweet, 20 tweet, 1 tweet. So you should stock our product. And this is how they improve their sales. So this is one of the example. This is how brand are using digital things. So it could help in many manners. But first, you need to clear your heads what exactly goals you want to focus in. Because many times what happens, and we see in many cases, once you start working with clients, after 3 months, they visualize, oh, I can do plenty of things, and then requirement all of a sudden change. Abhi ye karta hai, abhi wo karta hai, and that all started. Then we need to again say, we need to stick to our KPIs, or we need to redesign the scenario, but let's finish what we already started doing it.
So one thing that I would like to add is that due to this pandemic and work from home, the digital presence of people from the B2B market has really gone up. And I think LinkedIn has become very active, linking it with your blogs, your stories, your website. And people are reading, people are connecting, they are commenting to what you have to say or what your views are. So there's a lot of engagement that is happening online, which was never happening before. I know so many people that I used to deal with is saying Tata Motors, they were never having their own personal digital presence. Today, mostly everybody in Tata Motors is present online. So if I have a new story to say, there are readers who will work there. Or I could do some target marketing and send them a link of something I've written or something that I've posted.
And to extend Vinit's thing, so now bigger brand like Tata Motor, they actually doesn't require advertisement agency. They have plenty of employees online. So if they're starting any new initiative, they just ask employee post it on social platforms or Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or whatnot. And they get enough visibility, and then PR will start picking up stories. So they can reduce their advertising expense, and they can improve their brand reach or brand recall value or brand value.
I would like to add here, Jaydip, that I was just day before yesterday, I was looking at social media, and there was this video that came where Endeavour and Harrier are racing together. So it was the first time that on a digital platform, we are seeing a video, which normally we used to see it in either a TV ad or, they do a road show or something like that. So it was something that, yes, they are also doing. And I agree that branding is important if we are having it, because the brand has a huge impact on a social media,
So come pandemic, the biggest change that happened never ever is Mercedes-Benz is now not going to sell their cars through their dealers.
Oh, wow.
If you want a Mercedes, you write to Mercedes directly.
Wow.
The
Wow.
dealer is not even delivery. The delivery is going to be managed by Mercedes-Benz themselves. It will land straight to your house. The dealer is there only to service your vehicle. They have removed everything. Imagine, you write an email that I want this car, this is the bank, you transfer the money through the bank, you get your car.
And
So
now,
it actually helped us in reducing the cost, you know, because otherwise the store cost.
The dealer discount, the dealer discount is gone.
Yeah, it's gone. So it goes directly to the consumer, so they can give
Yes.
that at a better price.
True.
Wow.
that
So
is
this
innovation.
that is innovation. Mercedes, the German guy, thinks about this to start implementing in India. Amazing. What if tomorrow Tata Motors decides to do that?
Possibly.
They will
But
follow.
Sanjay,
They will follow.
Sanjay, wouldn't people would like to have a experience before buying a Mercedes? Because yes, definitely Mercedes is a well-known name.
There is a model at the dealership. There is a model available. You can go feel it, drive it, everything.
Okay.
But the dealer is not involved in your booking.
Okay.
Once you select the car and the color, you go online and select and place an order.
Just like e-commerce.
You can test drive. You can test drive the physical car at the dealers, but he won't accept your order.
Wow. That's an innovation. And
right. So let's see how it works.
So I keep on
as long as the consumer get a benefit.
Yes, absolutely.
I keep on saying COVID play a larger role to digital transformation compared to any CTOs.
Zoom.
The biggest influencer in getting people.
Yes, in my factory, we haven't met physically everyone in our conference since last 1 year.
Oh.
We all have Zoom meetings within my factory.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's something which is very new for us, because we in manufacturing are so used to having physical meets that this doesn't work.
And we end up getting lot many inquiries because the exhibitions are stopped. So we talked with a couple of manufacturing. They say our entire lead generation system based on the exhibitions. And we have entire calendar book. I mean, for January, we'll be in this country, February, that country, and so on and so forth. But now there is no traveling, there is no thing, and we are not able to generate leads.
I think that money should be spent on digital marketing.
Ideally, yes. And still
it's a fraction. It's still a fraction of the cost, but still you should spend it on digital.
Does the virtual exhibitions work well, Jaydip, especially in the industrial area?
I haven't attended any, so I'm not right person to comment. But
Chai has done a few times, but I'm not sure even Chai got great results from virtual exhibitions.
No physical. No, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work because I was there in March. We did it with World Trade Center, and we did not get a single lead. We tried doing it, and we did it with 2-3 platforms, you know. So in order to know whether it works or not, actually, but no, it doesn't work.
Yes,
actually, people are yet to get used to of it, and in the time to some places with the limited number of audiences, it has started physical again, but it will take at least 1 year, if not less, to come back to the original initial the kind of shows we used to have actually. But it will not be. It will never be probably that kind of scales and the kind of the shosha.
The experience.
Yeah, the wine and dine is gone.
Yes.
The wine and dine at this event is gone. So there is no fun. There is no fun attending online.
And companies also realize that what they used to invest 1 crore probably can work in 10 lakhs itself now, even if there is a physical presence here. So that the entire paradigm shift is there in the exhibition and convention industry.
True. Right. So we are already 5 past. So if at all there is any last question, maybe we can take, or as you say, Sanjay.
Whatever. You want to close, we can close. Anyone has any questions? One last time. No questions.
Okay. It was a good presentation.
Thank you, Jaydip. It was a wonderful insight. Thank you very much. We had
Himself is
fun.
acknowledging it.
I like that. He's a marketing guy. He's a marketing guy for sure. Thank you, Jaydip. It was wonderful to get your perspective on the digital marketing, especially in the COVID pandemic times. I'm sure there are some takeaways where it is important that everyone in manufacturing or otherwise understands the importance of digital marketing to help promote their business. But like you said, the head must be very clear as to what your goals are. So if we have the goals defined, whatever Jaydip said makes a lot of sense. So I thank you, Jaydip, once again, Shruti, Vinit, for handling this, and all the participants for attending. And please look out for more events. We plan to have similar such events once in 2 months. You will be updated. So please try to attend. And if you want to be members of TIE, please get in touch with Piali or the admin at TIE Ahmedabad. It would be a pleasure. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay bhai. Thank you, Jaydip bhai.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vinit.
Thank you.
Piali.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone.
So
Thank
much.
you. And